Good morning, everyone. Cyril here. Today we got to do a little bit of RV maintenance. Last night our water pump went out on us. I did buy a new pump for the trailer, and we've been using it as a transfer pump. So this morning we have everything stripped out of the bay, getting the pump set up and getting the old pump pulled out and getting the new one put in. So I thought I'd bring you guys along for just a little quick update on what we're doing and how we did it. The old pump does seem to have had some issues. We've got some stuff for water on the mineralization from water on the floor. We've got some on the pressure regulator, so it looks like that was leaking at the pressure regulator, which I wasn't aware of. So that seems to be our issue. We'll clean that up a bit, get that pump out, and we'll get the new one put in. Okay, have the pump in place. The hose is hooked up. Got a newer, larger filter. So we're going to get this secured down. The wall goes right here, so that gives me plenty of clearance. I think I like it right like that. We'll get the walls or the pump secured down, and then we'll get it hooked up and we'll water test it for leaks. Okay, the pump is secured. We'll get ready to hook up the power, and then we'll test it out. That'll be next. Okay, the wiring's connected. Let me go inside and turn it on and see how bad a leak we get. Lift you guys up a little bit. Point you down so you can see. All right. Holler if it starts spraying. So far I'm not seeing any leaks. We do seem to have some air in it. I will go bleed a line. Let it keep going. This is interesting. It is not turning off yet, and we do have water inside, so it's definitely plumbed the right direction. We have good pressure. I think I'll make sure I don't have a faucet on somewhere that I'm not aware of. That is certainly odd. I'm not sure why it's not turning off. I guess I should turn you guys off and do some troubleshooting. Figure out what's going on. Alright. Okay, so here's what we've got. When I originally bought it, I bought an accumulator tank with it, a small one. I put that in for testing purposes back in the line because we've been using that with it for our transfer. That came up, shut right off. So apparently this pump wants an accumulator tank to work properly. Don't know what that difference is, but there does appear to be a difference. Alright, well, we will leave it the way it is for right now. I will get me some fittings and things, and then we'll replumb this thing and probably hang the accumulator tank on the wall right over here, right above it, because we can do that pretty easily. And probably pipe it all in with PEX. Alright, well that's where we're at. This is probably going to be a wrap because I've got other things to work on. I doubt I'll film this when I get back to it. But there you are. Good morning everyone, Cyril here. Got an update for you. Night before last we had the furnace go out in the middle of the night. Woke up, it was 44 in the trailer yesterday morning. It was slightly cold. Yesterday we had a huge windstorm here in Quartzsite. So we got up yesterday morning, we went and got a new sail switch for the furnace. I'm pretty sure that's what is wrong with it. So got a new sail switch last night, and then we went to the tent show all day. I actually found the sleeves I need for the pockets for the flagpoles on the truck. Did some shopping. I wasn't going to try to do anything with a windstorm going on. We were having pretty good winds. We even dropped the awnings because it was forecast to be tough, and it was. So last night we ran electric heat. Kept it above 60 all night. This is where our battery bank really pays off. We're at 30% battery last night. We went through a lot of power overnight. It was 31 degrees when I got outside when I got up this morning. 61 in the trailer, which was comfortable. Mary threw an electric blanket on the bed, so she stayed warm. So today we're going to pull out the furnace and do repair on the furnace and get it working so that we have our main heat source back. And it'll take us a few days to recover from what we used in battery last night. Anyway, so with that, as I get to it, I will keep you apprised on what I'm doing. Okay, we've removed the cover off of this. This is not a how-to. This is what I did after watching some YouTube videos, because I have a tendency to fix my own stuff. We've shut off the propane, disconnected the flange nut. We've pulled the fuse for the power to the furnace and made sure that it was off. And according to the videos, there is one screw right here that is needed to be pulled, and then this whole furnace will come out of the tray. And so we will see what happens with that. I will put the screw away so I don't lose it. Let's see. The cover screws are in here, so I will put it in here with the rest of them. And then this whole thing is supposed to be loose now. I guess I'll need to... Alright, it has enough weight that I'm going to need to sit this down and work on getting it out. And then I've got to work on disconnecting the wiring so that they can be tucked out of the way. Alright, we'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, we had to cut 2 wires. And we had to, what is that? Scraps. Had to cut 2 wires that we'll put wire nuts on. And then we had to unplug 2 wires. And then tuck everything back through the sidewall. And then the furnace, with difficulty, slid out. It does come out. So, and I have a loose screw in the bottom that I have no idea yet where it came from. Furnace is out on the ground. We're going to go put it on a bench and start looking at our issue. Okay, I've got the furnace out on the bench. I'm guessing this is my sail switch. I'm going to go grab the new one, take a look, but it's the only thing I see that makes sense. Looks like 2 screws from the inside here. Looks like 4 screws on the cover to remove it. We've already taken this wire loose and taken these, we'll tip them up. So I will go get a screwdriver, and we'll take that apart. We'll get the sail switch too and make sure that that looks right. And then we'll look at taking that cover off. Okay, I have the sail switch out of the bag, looking at how that lines up. That would be logical. Position of the tabs seem to match up with the wires. So that looks to be where I'm looking for the sail switch. That looks correct. And the spacing on the bolt nips and everything look correct. So we'll open that up. Okay, we have taken the screws out, unhinged the cover, and there is our sail switch. So now the next step is to go get a meter, and I can put a meter on that and check it and verify that we have failed. Okay, so a sail switch is just simply a micro switch. So I have a meter here on ohms with a tone. This is our new sail switch. So just took it. So that's how you test your switch. We're going to do that with the existing switch right here. So the issue is not our sail switch. All right, so that was an unnecessary purchase, but it'll be good to have it put away. So now I got to think about this one. I may end up having to take this in and have it bench tested. So it was not the sail switch. That actually surprises me. I thought for sure it was going to be the sail switch. Let's see, we need to plug this back in then. Alright, so that's plugged back in. We can start looking at putting this back together. The two top ones are here. Alright. Okay, it does not appear to be either of the items that I know how to test and replace. Doesn't appear to be the sail switch. Doesn't appear to be the heat sensor on the back. So from there, it could be an igniter. It could be all kinds of stuff. So next step is take it into the shop and have them fix it. And then I'll put it back in. Hopefully I'll have it back today. Okay, camera's at the repair shop. The furnace is at the repair shop. We bought a nut so that we can put that into our fitting over here to seal off the propane, so I can turn the propane back on. And then, so that'll go in here in a minute when I have two hands. And then I can turn the propane back on, I can put the fuse back in, and we can turn the fridge back on. The repair shop said we should have the furnace back sometime today, so later on today, once I get that back, we'll put it back in and test it and keep you guys up to date on the repair. All right, well, that's it for the moment. Okay, time for an update. We got the furnace back. It ended up being a control board. The control board was $130. 1 hour labor for the work that was done on the bench. Total cost $314 to get the furnace fixed. Makes me very happy that I took it out and took it into them and didn't have to take the rig in and pay them to do that. So, all right, well, that's where we're at. We're going to start putting it back in and testing it. Okay, furnace is back in place, reattached, gas is connected, the 4 wires that we had to remove are connected, tied back in. So That has us in pretty good shape. Furnace is turned on. This wire is secured down, so the next thing I'll do is put the cover on. Then we'll turn on the gas and go test everything. Okay, Cyril here. Update on the furnace. Took it back to the repair shop. We put it on the bench, fired right up, no issues. So I brought it back out. They suggested maybe low propane levels. The tank I was on it says it's at 20%. So I switched to the other tank, hooked it all back up. Excuse me, I got to sneeze. Bless me. Hooked it all back up, test fired it again. It tried to ignite like 5 times. It would start to ignite and then went out. And then finally it ignited on like the 5th try and seemed to continue running. So it looks like we will have a furnace tonight. I think we're good. And if anything changes, I will let you know. But other than that, I think we're done with that. So have a good day. Hope you guys have better luck with your furnaces than I did. Okay, we got the accumulator tank mounted up. Everything plumbed. Having an issue with some air in it and getting it purged so that the pump will shut off, and I'm just not sure what to do about that. So we'll see what happens this time. I changed the angle and put the intake for the filter down here. We'll see what that does. Okay, so here's what we came up with. It worked when I had it in here with the accumulator tank just laying on the floor. Mounted it with all the writing right side up, like you would expect, and it wouldn't shut off. We turned the tank upside down, and it's working perfectly. Take that for what it's worth. If you have one of these C-Flow accumulator tanks and you have an issue with the pump not turning off, try turning it upside down and see what it does. Well, with that, that solves our issue. All 3 things are now resolved. The water is resolved. The furnace is resolved. And our 3rd measure of trouble was the regulator on the propane going out. And that's been replaced and resolved. So now everything's working again. I just have to keep an eye on this for leaks for a couple of days. All right, well, with that, we're out. Hope this helps you guys with something. Hey everyone, looks like I owe you a little bit of an apology on getting in and putting together the video for this. It appears that I did not do any filming on our propane regulator failing. So after we got the furnace put back in and got it to fire up and work, it ran most of the night. About 4 or 5 a.m. it quit again. And then in doing more looking and some testing, we found that the generator wouldn't run either. Nothing that had high propane flow would work. So the issue there, after we got the furnace fixed, was we had the pressure regulator for the propane die. So we ended up having to replace that, and then after we got that replaced, everything worked properly. I went and did more work on the truck, and then we have the little bit of video you see at the end where I went back to the water pump and got it replumbed and the tank the accumulator tank put in so that I can get everything packed back into that storage to move to the Grand Design Rally that we're doing in a day or 2. Anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update since that didn't seem to get filmed, and that was our 3rd event. So anyway, all right, well, have a great day, and we are out.